Greetings at Cheating Story Lab. Share your location and join us as we delve into a tale spun by Ryan. Sometimes those closest to us construct our most profound deceits. Sometimes truth's volume must surpass falsehoods for healing. I am Ryan, recounting the transformation of my blissful wedding day into my ultimate retaliation. At 32, I believed I had mastered life's puzzles. A flourishing accounting firm, a suburban abode adorned with beauty, and above all, I was on the brink of uniting with the love of my existence, Victoria. 4 years together, engaged for 8 months, I held her as my destined partner. Victoria was 28, a marketing powerhouse for luxury hotels, and her laughter was contagious, illuminating any space she entered. She possessed an allure that captivated many, yet to me, she was the world's sole enchantress. Love's blindness initially masked apparent warnings, but those red flags gradually surfaced 6 months into our engagement. Victoria's conduct began shifting mysteriously. She was evasive regarding her phone usage, taking calls in private and excessively texting during our dinners. When I raised concerns, she always offered plausible justifications: excessive workload, sister's divorce, mother's wedding planning demands. Trusting her implicitly, I accepted these explanations without suspicion. Victoria had never given me reason to mistrust before. She was affectionate, loving, and equally enthused about our shared future. We spent countless hours discussing our Italian honeymoon, the house post-wedding, and even names for potential children. However, the late-night activities commenced, which eventually raised suspicions. Every evening, Victoria shared that she had late-night duties on significant hotel promotions, occasionally arriving home past midnight. In a hushed manner, she'd sneak into bed, believing me asleep, but I'd stay awake pondering why her scent always resembled high-end cologne, distinctly not mine. Once, when I inquired about it, she chuckled and explained that her coworkers were rather generous with their aftershave during extended meetings. The climactic moment happened exactly a week before our wedding. Having completed my work ahead of time, I decided to surprise Victoria at her office with her favorite Thai cuisine. Aware of her tension over an upcoming presentation, I thought a romantic dinner at her desk might provide the perfect relaxation. Armed with containers of pad thai and spring rolls, I felt like an ideal groom. I navigated to the 15th floor where her marketing department was situated, using the elevator. After 7 p.m., most offices were dimly lit, but a glow emerged from the conference room at the end of the corridor. As I approached, voices emanated, and it was Victoria's voice I recognized, yet she spoke in a way I'd never heard before: soft, flirtatious, unlike how we conversed. Standing outside the slightly open door, I listened in. "We must be more discreet," she said. "The wedding is approaching swiftly, and Ryan has been curious about too many things." A different man's voice responded, suggesting they call off the wedding because it was known Victoria no longer loved him. My heart pounded. I leaned against the wall, hoping my breath wouldn't give me away. "I can't terminate it now," Victoria clarified. "Are you aware of the amount his family has already spent, or the cost of this dress, not including the fact that Ryan's accounting firm is thriving? Once we're married, I'll have access to all finances. Give me 2 years to sort things out before we truly commit." The man chuckled. "You're cunning, I admire it." "I learned from a master," Victoria replied, and then sounds of kissing, followed by more intimate actions, filled the air. I remained frozen for what seemed like hours, but was likely only a few minutes, listening to my fiancée discussing our marriage as if it were a business deal while being physically close with another man. The Thai food in my hands grew cold as my world shattered around me, until finally, they prepared to depart. I hid in an unoccupied office down the hall and waited for them to move on. Peering through a door crack, I observed Victoria strolling with Bradley, the hotel manager, their hands entwined. He was a married man with 3 children, and we had exchanged pleasantries at multiple company gatherings. He had always been cordial, extending his hand and praising my luck in finding such an exceptional woman. Once they departed, I delayed my exit from the building, dazed by the revelation I'd just overheard. In my car for an hour, I grappled with this newfound knowledge. A portion of me yearned to confront her instantly, yet a larger part was intrigued to uncover the depths of this deception. Returning home, I feigned normality upon Victoria's arrival around 10 p.m. She bestowed a kiss on my cheek and declared her fatigue from her presentation. She inquired about my day and listened intently as I fabricated tales of challenging clients and approaching tax deadlines. Over the following days, I became increasingly vigilant. I detected she had modified her phone password. I noticed her swiftly shutting her laptop whenever I entered a room, I found bills for lavish meals at restaurants we hadn't visited together. All the evidence pointed to one conclusion. Victoria had been leading a secret life for several months. Just 3 days before our wedding, I confronted her about it. I didn't reveal what I'd heard, but I asked her point-blank if there was something she needed to disclose regarding Bradley. Victoria reacted dramatically, her eyes brimming with tears and looking at me with such convincing sadness and bewilderment. "Ryan, how can you even suggest that? Bradley is my supervisor. We collaborate on projects, that's all," she replied. "Victoria, please be honest with me. If there's something going on between the two of you, we can deal with it, but I require truthfulness." It was then her entire expression altered. The tears ceased immediately and her face turned icy and calculating. She approached me, nearly whispering and stating words that altered everything. "Pay heed to my words, Ryan. I'm a female and you are male. With a single phone call, I could shatter your world. No one would believe you over me. Therefore, I advise you to abandon this irrational suspicion and concentrate on our wedding, as it will occur regardless of your feelings." The transformation was chilling. This wasn't the woman I believed I fell in love with. She was a stranger, entirely unfamiliar. However, Victoria had made a crucial blunder. She assumed I remained as innocent and trusting as I always had been. What she didn't realize was that I began recording our conversations on my phone after overhearing her at the hotel, seeking to understand what was truly occurring. I never anticipated her confessing so openly to manipulating me, but her arrogance had just provided me with exactly what I required. For the next 2 days, I found myself in an unusual state of tranquility. I carried on with all the wedding arrangements, finalizing details with vendors, collecting my tuxedo, and playing the part of the ecstatic groom everyone anticipated. Simultaneously, I was orchestrating a plan to publicly expose Victoria's betrayal. The big day arrived, and everything seemed impeccable from an outsider's perspective. The church was adorned with white roses and baby's breath, as Victoria had envisioned. Her family members were present, resplendent in their finest attire, radiating pride and joy. Victoria was breathtakingly beautiful in her designer gown, and a part of me couldn't help but be amazed that this was truly unfolding. The ceremony progressed routinely through the opening prayers and traditional pledges. Then came the moment I had been anticipating, the section for personal vows, where Victoria and I were supposed to express our own sentiments about our love and dedication to one another. Initially, Victoria recited her promises, which were touching. She spoke of our joint future, aging gracefully together, creating a family and embarking on shared journeys. Under different circumstances, I might have been moved to tears. Instead, I observed as she deftly fabricated stories that reached everyone we held dear. As my turn arrived, I strode towards the lectern, taking in the sea of expectant gazes. Our parents sat up front, my mother already attempting to stem her tears with a tissue. Victoria's father was recording what he believed would be a cherished memento. "Victoria," I said, "4 years ago you transformed my existence. I assumed I understood love, but you revealed a deeper essence. Today I wish to reveal to everyone your true identity." I retrieved my phone and linked it to the church's audio system. The same system we had thoroughly tested to ensure our vows would be audible to every attendee. Announcing that Victoria's words were her own, spoken 3 days ago in our household, I hit play, and her voice echoed through the church with crystal-clear resonance. "Listen attentively, Ryan," she said. "As a woman speaking to a man, if I wished to ruin your life, I could do so with a single phone call. No one would ever believe you over me, so I advise you to discard this absurd suspicion and concentrate on our wedding, as it's proceeding regardless of your feelings." The ensuing quietude was profound. Victoria's complexion turned pale, then crimson. Her mother gasped audibly. Her father appeared bewildered, unable to comprehend what he had just heard. Yet I wasn't through. "Additionally," I continued, "I have this recording from her office last week," and I played the audio of her discussion with Bradley about exploiting me for my wealth and planning to abandon me once she gained control over my finances. The church was set ablaze. People shouted, cried out, and called for explanations. Victoria attempted to seize the microphone from me, yet her father restrained her. Bradley, a friend of Victoria's family who was present, discreetly exited through the rear exit. Eventually, Victoria expressed herself vehemently at me. "You can't do this to me, it's my wedding day." I maintained composure and retorted, "No, Victoria. This was meant to be our wedding, but you transformed it into a commercial deal, so I made it a ceremony of truth-telling." I exited the church with dignity, leaving behind 200 bewildered guests and one enraged ex-fiancée. Since that day, I did not encounter Victoria again. The aftermath was tumultuous but ultimately freeing. Victoria attempted to bring a lawsuit against me for emotional distress and public shame, yet her own recorded statements made it unattractive for any attorney to support her case. Bradley lost his job at the hotel following the revelation of the affair. I forfeited friendships due to being perceived as too stern, yet I acquired something infinitely precious in return: self-realization that I harbored a strength hitherto unrecognized, and a profound understanding that truth is indeed the mightiest tool against deception and treachery. Now, I'm wedded to an individual who cherishes me authentically, beyond my material worth. We are blessed with 2 radiant offspring and a bond founded on sincerity and esteem. Occasionally, I contemplate the path I might have taken had I followed through with that wedding, and it chills me to consider the years of deceit and manipulation I may have endured instead. Victoria was my guide in learning that not all professed love is genuine, but she also enlightened me on my worthiness for more than someone using me as a means to an end. That day of the unconsummated wedding stands as both the most dismal and most auspicious moment in my life, representing the choice I made between truth over comfort and self-respect over someone who never truly appreciated me. If you're seeing this and something seems amiss in your relationship, heed that intuition. Don't disregard warning signs as I did for months. Recollect that genuine affection won't ask you to second-guess your own gut feelings or tolerate behavior that diminishes your self-worth. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my narrative. If it echoes your experience, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Express your thoughts in the comments section, and keep in mind that your truth is always deserving of protection, no matter how challenging it may seem.